everybody. Welcome to another Realtors Who Rock interview. I'm J Money Mortgages, Justin Montour. Joining me today is my friend Sarah Hockenbury with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. So, hey, Sarah.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going real good. It's going real good.
Good.
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about you and how'd you get into real estate and when did you start and a little about your family too.
Sure. Well, I grew up here in Indianapolis in Beech Grove, and kind of have always been a South Sider. We live in Bargersville now. I am married and have two kids, Gwen and Ethan, and two dogs, Jovi and Lily.
Mm.
And I've been in real estate about 5 years. Before that, I was a stay-at-home mom for a lot of years, and that was awesome. But it was time to get it going with a career, and
Yeah. 5 years ago, so COVID, so maybe a little
yep.
some of the
Started.
homeschooling started.
Oh my, yeah. No, I think there was about a couple months where I was homeschooling my daughter, and just that was not going to work. That
Was
was
part of the
not it.
gig. That was not part of
Everyone
the
was
gig.
crying.
Right.
Everyone was in tears all
Not
the
what I
time.
signed up for.
Yes, exactly. I will pay teachers like $1 million. I will pay
Oh
them
yeah. Very
all the
good.
money.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've always loved real estate and thought it would just be a really cool career to get into. And so I started um, trying to get my license, and COVID happened and it got really crazy, but I was able to finish all that online. And yeah, so getting in that time was the market was nuts. So yeah, I really got dropped in just kind of in
The baby's
boiling
your
water
ass.
and
Yeah.
yeah, off to the races.
Wow. Yeah. Just
So
got dropped right in there. Anyway, have you always been a Berkshire?
I
Okay.
have, yeah, I have a friend who, my friend who actually I saw doing real estate before me, her name's Rachel. She was kicking butt, and I was like, I want to be a part of that, and she's just been a mentor to me. So I wanted to join Berkshire, and it's been a great experience. That's a great family
It
here.
is. It is. Your office has got something special. There's something in the water down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Good bunch. Good bunch. Shout out to Rachel. Love that.
Rachel,
Right.
Rachel.
Oh man. Well, what has been your favorite transaction so far?
I think my favorite transaction was definitely my first transaction because it's usually a person that you know, and it was for me, it was my brother and his wife and their three girls.
Oh,
So they were just in a home that wasn't serving them and this neighborhood that they didn't like. And so um, it was just amazing to be able to get them into a house like on a cul-de-sac where their girls can ride their bikes, and it just was perfect for them. And I think that really I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so fulfilling. It really like hit something in my soul where I was like, I can connect people to, what their dream is, which is awesome. So
right.
that was definitely my favorite transaction that I've had.
Oh, I love that. And how personal for you for like you're an auntie and these are your nieces and so
Yep.
you're getting them and it's you touched on a couple things there. Yeah, it's a dream. Own a
Yes.
home, own the dream home or get your forever home. And it's security. It's a house that you said a house that didn't serve their needs anymore and now they have a house that does. I mean, you're literally it's meeting needs
Yeah,
for people.
exactly.
There's a variety of answers to that question, and a lot of people will say it's their first transaction, and then
Oh,
other people's a lot of times it'll be their like most difficult transaction because of all the things you have to learn when you go through
sure.
a transaction. Right,
Yeah.
right. But it's not that most difficult transaction is not always the answer to this next question. Next question is what has been your least favorite transaction and why?
It was probably the one that gave me the most trouble.
Most learning opportunities.
Yeah, it was a learning experience to say the least. And it was one of those ones that just everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And you know, sometimes you're dealing with a client who is you didn't know I didn't know this client previously, and so like we didn't have a relationship before, and I didn't, yeah, my husband called them grumpy gills.
I think I remember this transaction.
Yeah. Grumpy Gills was how my family lovingly referred to this
Mm,
transaction. And
mm,
yeah, it was just, it was hard on all sides. Like
yeah.
thank goodness the real estate agent on the other side of it, we were just working together to get it done.
It
But
did get done. It
it
closed.
got done. It went to,
Okay.
I mean, like, I think I cried a little bit when it closed because I was so happy. It's to be,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it
No.
was a
Yeah.
toughie.
That's tough. Not having a existing relationship or having it, having the narrative change in the middle. Oh, and then, some of these things are just lightning rods. I tell it sometimes I love first timers. They're still my favorite kind of clients to work
Me
with.
too.
And some first timers, just everything that can slide off, slides off. And it's like, y'all, every house you buy after this one will be a cakewalk. It's
Yeah.
just something decided that the real estate gods decided this transaction was going to be a lightning rod for everything. So, and then, but yeah, it's an emotional process. It's an emotional
It is, and
process.
I know they were under a ton of stress. They were not first timers, but they were trying to sell their house, and so
Mm,
that just like add, an extra level, just like
yes,
extra levels of stress
yes,
all the way
yeah,
around. So I understood why they were so frustrated, like
right,
of course.
right.
But
And managing two transactions at the same, I mean, like they really are two different. It's there's some crossover, but the Venn diagram is very, very skinny. When you're selling your house and
mhm,
buying a house, you're doing two big darn things at
sure,
the same
yeah,
time. And most people are in that boat where they have to. I like the Elements has a bridge loan, a swing loan that can let people leverage the equity in their current home to help buy the next one and make that a non-contingent offer. But
yes,
not
I
everyone
love those
has
programs.
the right, right. And not everybody has the programs and not everybody has the income or the debt ratios that make that work because you have to
Sure,
be able to afford if you have a current house payment and the new house payment and the bridge loan payment and all the other stuff on your credit report. So
yeah.
it's a pretty, it's a smaller circle that can access it. But yeah, so most people are in that boat, but it's not any less stressful. I mean, it's routinely in the top three most stressful things of your life is buying
Oh,
a
yeah,
home, almost
100%.
almost always in the top five. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And you, being a stay-at-home mom before, have dealt with stress before.
yeah,
You've dealt with
yeah.
stresses. What do you
That's
think?
very true.
I'm going to go off interview. What's the word? Off menu. What do
Off
you think?
menu.
What kind of what do you think some of the skills that you had as a stay-at-home mom? Which you're still a mom. It's not like you stopped momming, but are there
I
things
gave away my
transferable?
children.
Because I always say anyone that did anything before they were a realtor has some sort of transferable skill that they bring over
Sure.
because a realtor just wears a million hats. So, is there a motherly aspect that you find shows up in? Are you a mother hen to your first timer?
Yes, I think that's exactly it. That's so funny that you say that because first timers are I love them so much. They just bring something so special. They're so excited about the process, and I
Mhm,
love explaining it to them.
mhm.
So yeah, I definitely think it's kind of a mother hen situation where I'm just like, your little babies, let's just
That's
go.
right.
Mama's gonna take
Right under
care
my
of you.
wing. That's right. Right
Yeah.
under my wing,
Uh-huh.
and I'll tell you everything you need. Yeah. Well, there is,
Yeah.
and I mean, I try and prepare them up front with, you're about to learn a million things,
Yes.
and you're not going to remember all of them every phone call we have, so it can get
Right.
repetitive, and I'm going to try and over communicate. And I don't mind answering questions twice. Like I might send you an email a
Sure.
second time, so you have some kind of written record.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I
It's
mean,
a
the
lot.
education part of that process is so great, and at the end of the day, you're just helping them meet a huge financial goal, which is just
Yeah.
yeah, feels great.
It feels so good. And yeah, it feels like I'm so proud of them, even though I had, like they were the ones
Oh
who
my gosh, yeah.
saved up their down payment and did all the things. But like, I'm like,
Irrationally proud.
yeah,
I
exactly.
was just joking. Our 6-year-old has been reading, and he's building up some steam. He's really enjoying learning how to read. And I tell people I have never been more irrationally proud. I have had nothing to do with the education of how to read, but hearing him read words, I was like, this kid's amazing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't
It doesn't matter that you didn't have anything to do with it. It's your kid and you're,
yeah. Yep.
beaming.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
What habits and routines do you believe have set you up for success? Like any particular power habits over there?
Yeah, definitely. I think being in the office is huge. Our office is so, like we kind of touched on, just so supportive and so collaborative.
Mm,
I think that if you can be in the office, so I think I do the morning, usually is what I try to do.
hmm
And being in there and being able to ask questions, and also just setting your morning up, in a way that can bring you success. Like
hmm
waking up early is huge for me, writing down gratitudes, like just getting my mind, into a place where I can be successful for the day, writing down a list of what I need to do today. My ADHD brain can just like go off, like, oh, squirrel.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, like, you're in the
Mhm.
office also. So, like
Less squirrels.
it can be,
Yeah.
yeah, it can be a little distracting. So having a list, making sure that I'm like focused and getting my things done is huge.
Are you
Um,
someone that has like, even if you already done it, you write it on your to-do list so you can scratch it off?
I do like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a
I
huge.
like that.
That's that. If I haven't started the list yet, I'm like, I did this already and this already. And look at everything
I'm
done these.
amazing. Yes, I do that. So those are things that really have helped me. And having an accountability partner too is huge. So they're big on that here at our office.
Mm,
Just somebody who I can check in with and be like, hey, have you done your handwritten notes, or have you done and that really, like, more than anything, I think keeps me, it's not the transactions that you're working on right now. It's like future,
yeah,
trying to get in front of people and
kind of building the
so that
pipeline.
people
Right.
know that it's still in real estate. Like those things are huge. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a great point. Yeah, letting people know. I've heard it a couple times. Don't be a secret agent. Like and don't
mhm.
you can't once you assume people know what you do, it's over. Like you have to be. It's and it's not even not being annoying about it. It's just that you're putting yourself and that's I think that's
Right.
what keeps people from doing it is I don't want it's like every conversation to be perforated with realtor.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're thinking about yourself more often during the day than anybody else. So it's like I always joke with like we're no we're not selfish to be consumed with your own day and your own priorities and your own life, but it does mean you have less brain space to remember what your friends do and how you might be helping them or who you might know that could be connecting them.
Yes.
It's almost never the inconvenience that people think it is.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned something earlier. I don't mind digging into this a little bit.
Yeah.
Writing down gratitudes, as I've heard of this as a habit, and I don't know if anyone's ever actually brought it up in our Realtors Who Rock. So talk a little about what that looks like for you.
So yeah, like when I'm a part of this like ninja it's a
Yeah, Ninja Tales. Yeah.
ninja, yeah, book series, and
Mhm.
or a book, and one of their big things is gratitudes, and that it helps you um kind of just, yeah, that attitude of gratitude gets your headspace right to be able to then go into your day, positive
Mhm.
and that kind of stuff. So
Mhm.
I wake, I try to wake up, and I try to wake up before my kids get up, because if I don't, it's just, oh, it's donezo, man.
No,
Um,
no, you got to
but
have a buffer. You got to have
that's
that boot up time because Lord knows the
totally
kids wake up and just choose violence immediately. It's like they go into
immediate.
100, no coffee,
Yep.
nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm
Um,
with you. Got to have a buffer.
yes.
Got to have a boot up.
So I try to write down just three things that I'm grateful for, and it could be anything and everything. But yeah, writing down things that I'm grateful for, and then also doing affirmations. Beyond that is another thing, like taking something, an affirmation, and writing it like 25 times. That's a way that I get my brain around.
Sure. Is that like, are those kind of things that you're grateful about yourself, or are they more like kind of like self-fulfilling prophecy type of like,
Yeah,
I
like
am a,
the one that I have for this year is I know what I'm doing. So it's kind of a confidence builder, and like, because I can be someone who gets down on myself, and so
sure.
when I write down that affirmation, I know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing. I've been in this business for 5 years, and just in general in life too, like, um I can be confident. I know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
walking into each day,
Love
so
that. Love
yeah.
that. Well, yeah, I mean, in this industry in particular, because of the emotionality of it, And our clients, we're kind of in their mind, we're messing with their money. I mean, like we're helping them buy
Yeah,
I tell my folks, we're not buying a candy bar. We're buying a
right.
house. It's a big darn
Yeah,
thing.
it's a big
And
deal.
it's the biggest purchase, the most appreciated asset the biggest, asset you're going to own, but it's also going to be your
Mhm.
biggest monthly payment. And there's a lot of moving parts, and that emotionality, yeah, can definitely you can butt up against that in the process with those intrusive thoughts about like, oh, do I know what I'm doing, or am I
Right.
actually good at this job, or things like that. Yeah, no, I love that. I love
Yeah.
affirmation, and then the gratitude part that has come up a lot this past week, not just in this interview, but like even in
Really.
relationships. I know you and Willie have been happily married for a while,
Yeah.
but just expressing gratitude to your spouse, and
Sure.
and also being grateful about, like I'll joke, I'll tell Lacey sometimes she'll have a reaction. I'll be like, I'm so thankful you had that reaction and not this other really negative reaction that you could have had. That I know
Yeah.
other, there are relationships that are just bringing more baggage in or having a little more harder time launching, and
Right.
that whatever for whatever reason their responses aren't as gracious. But it's like I could just take that for granted, or
Yeah.
I could verbalize and say, thanks for handling that so well. Thanks, sometimes I tell her like, thanks for laying me down gently. It's just like,
No, that's awesome. It's a perfect, that's perfect for relationships too. I mean, you could take it into every
right,
aspect of your life. It's
yeah.
just it helps. I can't be negative. I feel like I'll be in the fetal position if I'm like, like I have to have a positive attitude and a positive
Sure.
outlook. It's just,
Yeah. Well, and I
yeah.
think a lot of people don't realize that our brains, I mean, it's not like inertia or Newton's law or anything, but it's like our brains are just wired to find the negatives, and
Yeah.
they pick up, and it's always easier to spin it. It's always easier to talk down about someone and talk up. And so to like train and hack your brain and make yourself, now you write these things down, the
Yeah.
gratitude you write down, are you writing actual like letters and notes to people or clients, or is this like, I am grateful for this, I'm grateful for that?
Sometimes around the office we do that, which I think is really nice. Like I get a note just randomly out of the blue from some
Your office
people,
is
just
adorable.
like, hey, yeah,
Well, you know
just
what? I'll
like,
say this. You're in Greenwood. The office is in Greenwood, which is
yeah,
already like sweet. Lives like a little more Southern charm in Greenwood, I
a
feel.
little
It's
bit.
just the Hoosier hospitality thing is just dialed up a little more. But
Yeah,
that office in particular, yeah, just like the just salt of the earth people.
feel the love.
You can feel the love. There's a
Yeah,
vibe. There is a vibe in your office for
I
sure.
agree.
Yeah. So you guys write little love notes. That's adorable. Oh my word.
We are so cute.
Totes adorbs.
That's
That's not even
adorable.
that's not even what kids say anymore. Uh,
What are you, 1,000 years old?
I know. What would you say you're most proud of so far in your real estate journey? What are you most proud of?
Um, I was gonna say, I think like business wise, it's just getting people to the closing table because I think that just comes with a lot of, sometimes it can be hairy, and so navigating all those twists and turns, bad appraisals and crappy inspections and that kind of stuff. Just so I think that when we, especially those first timers like we talked about, but just really any clients, just getting them to the closing table and getting them exactly what they have,
Yeah,
want and
yeah.
their, like we said, their dream. And it's just huge.
Well,
So
that tracks because we were just talking about the irrational pride that we feel for our first
yeah,
time.
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
they did a lot of the work. I mean, not that we didn't work, but yeah, yeah, that tracks. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What right now would you say are your primary sources of business and clients? What do
Yeah.
you do with business?
So my sphere is huge and it's always been that way. And now I'm starting, after being in the business for 5 years, it's gone out a little bit to like
Mhm.
referrals of those people. But it's still the people that, I went to school with, went to church with a million years ago that are reaching out. I mean, the one that we're working on together, Tessa, that's who she is. She's from church a million years ago. And because of Facebook, I've been able to, I don't know what I would do without social media. I think that
Mm,
it's been such a huge part of me being able to do what I do and reminding people that I'm in real estate through Facebook, but also just, still commenting on people's stuff that
Yeah.
I knew from way back when. Um,
Staying in the zeitgeist.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, so my sphere is probably 80 to 85% still of my business.
That's great. Have you
So
noticed they talk about years 5 to 7 kind of being like the magical years when you're in real estate? Like you've made it that far, and now you've had this book of business that's developed. Has that started happening for you a little bit yet, or or is it like we're on the cusp of that, or
a little bit. I do think, like I said, with referrals and stuff, that has been happening, and I have gotten a few, actually already a few that are, selling the house that we bought,
yeah,
4 years ago.
right, right.
So
Because the
yeah,
average
it's just
life of a loan, and even I don't know about home ownership, but we tell folks the average life of a loan is only 6 or 7 years. I mean, you're
yeah,
either refinancing or moving or upsizing or downsizing or divorcing or get married. Like there's lots of reasons why, but a loan
yeah,
by itself is like, so the rates, yeah, they've been higher the last few years, but it's like this is not where no one's expecting this loan to live forever. We're not gonna be paying
right.
this for all 30 years. Um,
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's true. I think it used to be a little bit longer, like maybe 9 or 10 years to expect a client to come back.
mhm.
But yeah, 6 or 7 years is probably is what I've heard. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, so definitely Sphere has been huge. And yeah, like I said, getting those referrals has been a big
sure.
part of my
What
business
do you
too.
say, 80, 85%? Do you have an idea where the rest of them are coming from
Yeah,
sourcing?
I'm also a Rocket preferred agent, so I get
Oh
I
yeah.
get some through Rocket, and yeah, so
Yeah. And those
that's
are a totally different beast because that's your first, you're not gonna you usually don't know those people. So
right.
to have
Like
to
not
serve.
ever.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because I can see the appeal. It's like on the lending side, we go back and forth. Some folks they want every family member and every friend to use them, and then some folks is like, I'd rather you didn't. I'd rather you let me make a referral for you. And I think it's because of the emotionality of the process, and because
Sure.
especially when it's a friend and you've known them for a while, and now you know everything about their finances on the lending
Mm,
side. There's a level. I mean, you know a lot about them on the realtor side, but you don't
yes.
necessarily have to get quite in the weeds in the accounts and the homework process that goes along with that. And sometimes, boy, yeah, there are some transactions that you're like, whoo, we're not as good friends anymore. We have been downgraded
Yeah.
often acquaintance or some kind of recurring acquaintance.
Friends, yeah, it can be tough for sure. And I understand why people might want to refer. I still haven't gotten to that point. I'm like, you have to use me. You're
Right,
my friend. You better
right,
use me. You're my family member. Are you kidding me?
yeah.
Um, and yeah, so
So you just talked about social media a little bit. Would that be the way you say you primarily market your business, or are there
yeah,
other? That's the one. Yeah.
it's free, first of all.
Hmm.
So love that journey.
Yeah. Three
And
ninety
yeah,
nine.
kind of like what we were talking about with like just not wanting to be annoying, but like, so, like I'll try to put something funny out, like a funny post about real estate, or
Right.
I've done some videos. They're not my favorite thing to do, but I've put out a few informational videos, and I try to do that on TikTok. I try to do it on
Oh, you're
Instagram.
on TikTok.
I
Oh,
am
well,
on the
yeah.
TikTok.
On the
Yeah.
TikTok, as the kids say. So, are there
Yeah.
educational, like just defining different things about the process, or are they about your listings at all, or
Yeah, so mostly listings.
yeah?
I did a little like three-part series about like upfront costs.
Hmm.
That was a good one. It's just coming up with content. Like that is my Achilles heel. So yeah, I know. It's tough coming up with just
Yeah,
yeah, new
yeah,
things or things to talk about. I see other realtors really killing it, and I'm like, where are
yeah.
you getting all this content? How
Right.
do you know what to do?
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
jealous. Like I would love to be able to just know how
Yep.
to do that. But social media itself, especially, and I know Facebook, I feel like Facebook is for like our age and like older for sure. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
younger people are getting on the
Yeah.
Facebook.
Not quite as popular with the younger, the
That's
Gen
right.
Zs. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's helpful because that's where all my old church folks are there, and
Oh yeah. No, it still has its
information.
uses for sure. right.
Yeah, people I knew from school are there, and so
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah, and especially you
definitely
being a local girl, I mean, yeah, you've got a lot of history there. Yeah. I
yes.
mean, we've,
So
we've
it's
been in Indy for about 15 years, so we've put down some roots, but it's not the same. I mean,
yeah,
I usually have one or two deals coming from New Hampshire every year that are either family or friends or whatever,
nice.
referrals. And yeah, and
Yeah,
it's nice because we do lend in all 50 states, and not every mortgage broker can offer that. And not everyone's going to
right.
get listed in all or licensed, I should say, in all 50. But um, it's the challenging thing for me is all of those different social media websites have different algorithms and different ways that they weigh your activity and your performance, your
Sure.
interaction. Like so I know with Facebook, you cannot just post on a calendar weekly, here's my weekly post, and everyone's going to see it. 5% of the people you know are going to see that.
Right.
But you need to be commenting on this and liking this and sharing these other things and
Yes.
all about that. And the more you have that activity, now the more you're showing up in the news feeds. And I can almost set like you can almost set a weekly clock to it. It's why the amount of interaction a post will get
Mm,
because I've been interacting. And then I'll post something, it'll be crickets. It's like, oh,
mm.
okay. Because I
Yeah,
wasn't as diligent. But I'm like, I have to set time on my calendar to actually have to block time to be
that's
like,
so
be
smart.
a person on Facebook. Don't just be a poster.
Be a human
Yeah,
being on
yeah.
Facebook.
Appear to be a functioning human being.
Exactly. You have to. I feel like you have to schedule that. I again with like my brain is like zing, 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 and
Right,
then I find myself posting like five things on a random Sunday. I'm like,
right, right.
just think this through. Like you could have been
Yes. Yeah.
consistently posting. No, my
No.
brain's like, let's just do it all today.
And you know what I still have to do? I have to set a reminder every meeting I go network, I go all over town, and I have to set reminders to take a picture at every single one. And if I
Oh
didn't look at
man.
my phone, I wouldn't take a picture. And the
Yes.
nice thing, a lot of content, when I would listen to podcasts or read blogs that would talk about making content, and I totally agree, making content is such a bear. It feels like
Yeah.
it feels like it takes the fun out of it. But it's like I've heard the advice that like stand up, look around, take a picture. Like just that's your start. Now you have a picture of this, and it could be your yard, and you can talk about this yard is this size, and some people like bigger. It kind
Yeah.
of makes you to put that in that frame. But for video, I'm like I love my interviews. I love my Realtors Who Rock. I like doing What's That Word Wednesdays. I finished that series up a few weeks ago, so I have
Okay.
to find some other new. And it's mostly YouTube for me. I don't know, but the TikTok thing, it's just that might be you might be challenging me in my
It'll be
interview
banned
today.
soon anyway, so don't worry about learning it. It
I'm
might
going to
be
be
banned
banned.
soon.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Don't worry about it.
It's soon to be illegal. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I knew we were going to have fun in the interview. I knew we were going to have fun. We have just always had the same kind of. I feel like our conversational pacing is
Yes,
very even. You're a great chatter already,
I
but
agree. I
uh,
agree.
and
Right back at
that's right. And I remember doing the going to the South Side's cornhole tournament and finding out all about the Disney and Star Wars and Indiana
Yes.
Jones, and we were like, "Oh, we're like very
Are
similar."
we the same person?
Were we separated at birth?
Did we just become best friends?
That's right. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. I want to know about advice that you would have for a new realtor joining the industry. April, well, we won't date it because then we'll have to refer to the timestamp key. But
Sure. Yeah.
in the industry, if you're new to the industry today, what's Sarah give you for advice?
I think finding people who are going to invest in you is huge. Like
Mm,
if you find yourself at an office that you don't have a mentor or don't have someone who's like pouring into you information or someone that you can go to for advice, you're in the wrong place. Like as
yeah,
especially as a baby agent. I think now too, but especially being back then, it literally was the difference between this place and another office. And the owner of that office was like, hey, like I'll be here to answer a question or two after I train you, but like you're gonna be on your own. And I'm like, well, that's not what I need.
oh,
Like,
wow.
and that he was just being honest, like that's
Sure,
just their
sure. You'd rather
model.
hear that up front than be told
Sure,
something different, and then that'd
exactly.
be the case. Yeah.
And so coming, being here, I mean, everything was there have been so many agents here who have shared their knowledge or taken time to let me shadow, or like that has been invaluable for me.
Yeah.
Learning how to do it from
Yeah.
people who are super successful at it. You
Right.
can't. there's no, you can't put a price tag on that. It's just been, that
Yeah.
is the best education that you can get.
Abundance mentality comes up a lot in these um, interviews, and it's mostly good. I feel like I must have a type when it comes to realtors because everyone's very abundance mentality,
Sure. That's,
collaborative
yeah.
minded. I don't have many hot shots who are like, I'm doing it all on my own, and I pulled myself
Ugh.
up on my own bootstraps, and you can do it too. You got to toughen up, and I don't know,
They're
it's like
so fun to work with.
they're a blast. Yeah. I've been in my 30 years of real estate. I've never see this is like when you know they start with that line, it's like almost
Oh,
certainly going to be a BS following.
yeah. Yes. No,
I've
thank
never had
you.
an appraisal come back low in 30 years. Like,
Wow,
wow,
good for
you did
you.
four transactions your whole life. Look at you.
Amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, but that is like it's just so important. And even in your 5 year and in your 10 year, the people who have it have that mentality their whole career long.
Yeah,
And I was talking to a buddy of mine from a different industry, and he was talking about how, in most jobs, your first 4 or 5 years, you're on the learning curve, you're picking them up more and more and more. And then really from 5 years on, there's like slight twists and changes, maybe procedural things, process things, but you really kind of have the hang of it.
hmm,
And there is so much that changes so often in real estate and in lending
yeah.
that it feels like I don't know if they'll ever be, I don't think I'll ever be off the curve.
I know, yeah. There are
Yeah.
definitely always, you're always learning. And yeah, we do new trainings and new, yeah,
Yeah.
get on.
But how much more important to have that mindset and to be that because and not only that, but I mean the pay it forward thing is like no one really ever got there on their own 2 feet.
Right.
So to be able to do that, that's why I think a lot about the South. I love the South Side division for MIBOR and their monthly meetings because there are a lot of established agents and affiliates that go to those.
Yeah.
And it's they understand the importance that you go to those meetings when you're first starting out because you need the meeting, and you go later on because now the meeting needs you. They,
Oh, yeah. Good point.
you need to be able to pay it back, and you need to be able to be available and do the network, and yeah, kind of
Yeah,
reach a hand back behind you. So
for sure. Definitely.
love that. So we got the advice for a new realtor joining this industry. Now, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received in your real estate
I,
journey?
yeah, I think just knowing my value is probably the best piece of advice I've been given. And asking for it and knowing how to ask for it.
Hmm.
Um, that's been um, that's been a hard lesson for me to learn personally. Just it's hard for me to not say, oh, like that's okay, like
No big
like
deal.
I'll take
Yeah.
whatever.
Hmm.
But like
Hmm.
this is my actual job, and this is what I do for a living, and like you wouldn't go anywhere else and expect that a person doing their job not to get paid. So I
Right.
think just knowing, yeah, learning how to knowing your value first, and then being able to ask respectfully, this is what I'm doing
Right.
for you.
Right.
So
Kind
this
of a
is
boundary conversation too. It's like
yeah,
you said, that's huge. Yeah. I mean, that's
yeah,
the mindset of you would not expect any other professional to come in and just be like, oh, sure, I'll do that for a third of what I would do it. Oh,
yeah,
this what you asked? Because out of the goodness of my heart, that's not, yeah. But I think, yeah, knowing your value, I mean, how much did that come up last year with all the changes and
yes,
our lawsuits and having to list? And I mean, as far as I can tell, has not impacted a majority of the transactions that I've come across my desk.
yeah,
But it has and people were right on the nose. They said last year this creates the opportunity to double down on explaining your
yes,
value in the process and how
yeah,
important it is to have representation because I still get to do transactions for folks that don't have realtors and Lord Almighty, I mean, it's you need a professional in there. You need a
yeah,
buffer. You need someone who knows the contracts. Someone who knows the process.
yeah,
It's not just a spit and a handshake, and we're gonna just get this.
right,
I mean, it's a big darn deal. Oh, they said earlier, we're not buying a candy bar. We're buying a
right.
house.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal, and yeah, being able to navigate people through it, is what I do. And so adding that piece into my buyer's consultations and into my, before we even get started, hey, this is how we get paid. This is what happened, and why we are, we want to always be transparent
Mhm.
about how, what's going on and how we get paid. So
Right.
yeah, it's just having a conversation, and I think that's never a bad thing to be more transparent.
Right. Right. Love that. And the other thing about, I mean, not even from a monetary standpoint, but and you mentioned church background, which I think a lot of Christian folks, uh, my mom included. I remember my mom trying to interview for jobs. She's not in the industry at all. She's like more an accounting role. And we would be doing these, I would help her with like mock interviews, and she'd be so
Mhm.
demure and so not self-deprecating, but just
Yeah,
did not want to toot her own horn.
right.
And it wasn't even about, I mean, we don't have to toot our own horn every conversation, but as in the professional, when you're the professional and you're kind of like, you're the one that should be at the helm,
Yeah.
not that they're not in control of aspects of that transaction, but my poor mother would be like, Mom, this is your interview. This is the time you get to talk. This is the only time you have to say how awesome you are. So
It's hard.
once they hire you, they'll know. But
Yeah.
knowing your value, I mean, yeah, it's so easy to want to just be like, oh no, it's no big deal, or
No
oh
big
no, like,
deal.
oh, it was nothing. It was like, no,
That's not what you want to communicate. Like, yeah,
no, no,
hey, this is what I'm doing. Bullet points,
right, not
Yeah.
for sure.
So, yep.
Next question. So this is a more vulnerable question. What failure have you experienced? What did you learn from a failure in your time in the industry?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's as much of a failure as kind of just a learning curve
Hmm.
with working with different people.
I thought
Just
you were going to say it's not much of a failure; it's more of a success. But let me tell you,
I
not the
flipped
answer.
it. Don't worry about it.
Killed it.
Killed it. Yeah, I
That's
actually
right.
don't have failures,
Yeah,
so I'm not
actually,
sure
not
what you're
familiar
talking
with that
about.
sensation. Actually,
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, that's
The learning curve. Sorry to interrupt. The learning
so
curve.
no, you're good. So just a learning curve of like figuring out how to interact with different personality types, I think has been a huge
Mm,
because it is hard for me with my personality to know how to interact with people who are super direct or with people who they're not trying to hurt your feelings, they're just that's just who they are, and so
yeah.
it's kind of a that's been a huge learning experience for me is figuring out how to communicate with people, all different people, all different personality types. So yeah, so that's probably been the hardest. I don't know about the hardest. It's been the biggest learning curve that I've had in this industry, for sure.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, and that's also, it's a good skill to develop in sales because
Hmm.
we all communicate differently. And in this industry in particular, I mean, not just the clients, but there are a million different kinds of realtors and a million different kinds of lenders, a million different kind of title reps, and just
Yeah.
like the people that are involved, there's 100 personalities involved in a transaction. So, do you
Yeah.
have is there a personality assessment like Enneagram or Myers-Briggs or anything like that where you kind of have in your mind when you're trying to suss that out? Do you have a framework?
A little bit. I don't think it's like as um developed as that. Like, like I know people in our office, there are people in our office who always talk about like disc profile
Yeah,
and those type of things.
yeah.
And that's kind of in the back of my mind. But also I love Enneagram. So I think it loosely, yes. Woohoo, Enneagram.
Enneagram.
Nine, classic nine right here. So yeah, my peacemaker self is, trying to navigate dealing with, a, a six or,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
So it's just different personality types, but yeah, so it's nothing as concrete as like really putting them into boxes, but I think just trying to figure out how do I communicate most effectively and what are their needs? Like what do they need from me?
right. Right. That's huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know because Enneagram, though, they always tell you you're not supposed to type other people,
I
but
know.
what's the fun in that? I mean, I
I
know.
know.
But
Sorry, I do it anyway.
I'm definitely doing it anyway. And when you're in the ballpark, it is helpful because yeah, there are some types that are very number oriented, very detail oriented. They don't need the fluff. I'm fluffy as hell. I
Yeah.
want
Well,
to
give
chat.
me all the fluff.
I love fluff. We're gonna talk about everything but the actual
Yes.
mortgage. Hour into the phone call, I'm like, oh shoot, we gotta talk about your
Oh
actual
yeah,
disclosures that we called for.
for
But
sure.
yeah, I could get off base, but I mean, I like the connections that are made during that transaction process, and it's been not just for
Hmm.
first timers, but for anybody. I tell folks this is not a sexy thing that we're doing. The loan part financing. This is, we're putting lipstick on a pig a bit because
Yeah.
it's just it's a hard no, it's a hard cold numbers
Yeah.
thing at some point. But also, it's like doesn't mean we can't have a little fun. And I always joke that
Yeah.
we don't make it stress free, but I try and make it as stress less as I can. I told this to
Yeah.
our
Perfect.
mutual clients right now. I
Perfect.
try and make it as stress less as I can, and that's by cracking some jokes and staying in touch as frequently as I can. And I'm going to let you know what's
Perfect.
going on in the process, but like, yeah, don't not everything I say is serious, and I usually make myself laugh, so you'll know when I'm joking because you'll hear me chuckling after.
I will be laughing at the joke that I
Right.
made.
That's right. Guilty. Oh, that's great. Okay, well, we had a lot of fun, and I want people to be able to get a hold of you if they want to try and look you up. So I know you're on social media.
Yep.
Where else can our listeners learn more about you or reach out to you?
Sure. My website or just reach out and call me is great. Email. But yeah, I'm on all the socials.
Yeah,
So
you
for
mentioned
sure.
Facebook and Instagram, soon to be banned TikTok.
Soon to be on TikTok. Yes.
Do you have
Yeah.
like do you know what I don't even know what the news items are about that? I've heard that it's could be banned.
Yeah, I don't,
Is
it
it
had something to do with being a Chinese owned company, I think was
uh,
the problem. And they
okay.
said if an American company bought TikTok that it could stay on or something. And then they like they banned it and then they unbanned it and now it's here, but I think it's supposed to be banned again. So I don't know.
Oh,
I don't really
okay. Okay. There we go. Yeah.
know.
I figured it was something about being owned overseas or something like that. So thanks for
Yeah,
letting me know.
I'm just enjoying it while it lasts.
That's right. That's right. Write it out. Well, of course, then they
Yeah.
changed it where like you can't watch the videos unless you have the app, or at least that's what my phone tells me. I try and hit play on the link and it just tells me
Yes, now
that
you have it
you have
used
to
to
have
be
the
that you
app.
could watch them no matter what, and now you
So
cannot.
don't tell my sisters, but I just haha on the video link and act like I watched it. Like, that's hilarious. It's never going to be something serious that they send me. So
It's terrible.
hey, we think it's a pretend bond. It makes them feel good. Anyway, I'm
No,
going to put all
lives.
your
It's
contact
lives.
info in the show notes so folks can reach out to you on all those
Awesome.
social media channels. But thanks so much for sharing with me today. It's always
Thank
great to chat with
you.
you. Great
Yes,
conversations as always.
as
And
always.
yes, good, good. All right, thanks, y'all. Have a great day.